Marko, happy Apple Blossom Day, buddy.
Good morning.
Good morning, man. What's the weather like over there?
Oh, it's going to be a beautiful day. Sunny.
Good.
It should be mid 70s, I would imagine. Mm-hmm.
Is that a Rocky's Corner hat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have got my visor on.
Represent.
Representing. What I want to say is this show is going to be sponsored by Rocky's Corner. So Rocky's Corner, guys, right across the street there, Henderson and Central. Racing forms are out. I'm sure right now over there as we speak, people are filing in, and then after the races, I don't know, uppercut, pizza, beef sandwiches. I like the pepper and egg sandwich myself. But get over to Rocky's Corner.
Yeah, the roundhouse is a nice sandwich.
The Roundhouse?
Gotta get the roundhouse.
Okay. Yeah. Good little hangout to watch sports, watch the races, get some good food, pizza. And it's right there. Man, 12 race card. The first race goes off at 11:20 Central. And there's going to be, are there three pick fives today? Let me see. Yeah, there's a central pick five starting in race 5. So race 5.
Yeah, I'm
through,
not.
Yeah, race 5 through 9, though, is all I'm saying. There's 3 pick fives today.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into the first race. We got a big card, and I know people got to get going here and see what we have to say here. So the first race is a state-bred maiden 50. No, it's just it's a maiden 50. They're going 2 turns. I'm going to let you start.
All right. Well, a lot of my picks today are kind of on the chalky side.
Yeah.
But I like number 5 here, Call Sadie. And the first few races here, I think it's going to be all about speed. And this one, I think will have the lead or very close to it. Stretching out, dropping from maiden special weights to maiden 50. That last race.
Big drop.
Yeah, and she ran. I thought she ran against some better company than a lot of these in here. So the class relief and the stretch out and the speed, I think, is going to be the winning strategy today. And then underneath, I got Mo Enchanted, just in case this turns into pretty much a 2-horse race with the speed. But I think Call Sadie will be the speed of the speed and be able to run longer, faster.
Okay. Yeah, I went to the 2-horse here just because I've been kind of chasing this horse, and it's a similar thing here. We're dropping back down. It did run for 50 last year against Lady Woo Pig. I actually picked Lady Woo Pig in that race, if you remember it, like 30-1. I think that was closing day or ended the Derby. I forgot what it was, the Kentucky Derby day. But this horse had a lot of problems in this last race. Chasing a slow pace behind Texas Sequoia, a horse that you like. And I just, Gutierrez that day, I just don't know what he was doing. We could watch a little bit of the replay of Cava, who's the 7 here. And
we're ready to go.
I just didn't like this ride at all. You tell me what you think.
And Lara beats you hesitant coming out of the gate, then had to check between horses, drops to the back. Paris Accord on the lead. Kava takes the second spot. Kayamichi third.
He didn't let the horse do what he wanted to do.
Sequoia, a little bit keen behind the speed.
And I thought he was just kind of hard holding him and
a lot more relaxed. and she's in the 5th position, kept
I
out
don't
of
know.
harm's way on the outside.
I was like, hey, go.
Down on the rail, she's running in 6th ahead of Beecha, and confirmed forgery is at the back. A slow tempo on the lead here. 25 seconds flat. That first quarter mile, they're just galloping.
You probably should have let
he's really grabbing him here. And then what he's going to do, he's letting these others come on the outside of him, and he's going to get sandwiched here. And it's like, what are you doing? Because I handicapped this race for him to go.
And he should have went. Look at that time.
Well, they went 51 and 2.
I mean, that's just like
I was swearing at the TV. You know, why are you not in the lead? What are you doing? And now he's like, oh shit, okay, I got to figure something out here. Now he's boxed. Nowhere to go, just up on heels a little bit. And then right now you're already screwed up, but the horse is going to really run well to the wire and gallop out nice.
Miss Macy getting towards the rail now. It's still in about the 3 path, but leads the way by 3. Texas Sequoia coming out of the crowd in second with Kayamichi. Furlong to go, though, and it's all Miss Macy. Miss Macy by 4 with a 16th to go, and it's maiden diploma time.
I don't know why you were holding the whole time. It just didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't like it. I think today I would just, because you stretched out last time from the 6 furlong race, and then you could see the gallop out's good, but you stretched out last time from 6 panels, and I'm like, today we're gonna get the lead, or at least show a lot more speed, go, and they went. Look at the fractions of this race: 25 flat, 51 and 2, and you're grabbing. So I don't know. This field isn't that tough, obviously. I would hope that they would be a little bit more aggressive again on the stretch out. As far as who you think is going to get the lead in here, time form would suggest that the 4 is kind of quick, but the 5 is probably the quickest, your horse. And you're stretching out too. So I would like to be sitting at least just off of you, but I think we're going to go a little bit quicker than that last race. If we do go that slow like we did last time, I would want to be in front of you.
There's no way that this race is going that slow.
Right.
There's just no possible. I just don't see it. But if it does, then if your horse gets out there, it's going to be hard to catch.
Yeah, the 6 pressed last time for 20, but I just don't think that horse is very good.
No, actually, that horse isn't that good. Like say I get a scratch and maybe that one can scoot out. You know, this is not my exacta. This is my alternate pick. So
yeah. So you're like, if my horse scratches, and maybe I could get out to the lead and possibly steal it on a stretch out. I get it.
Yes.
It broke out of the 1 hole last year, April 6th, from the 1 hole, going 2 turns, and wasn't very comfortable for. That was an open 50 though. Much tougher spot. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna hope I get a better ride from was that Cedillo from Gutierrez, and hope I can get something done. You have the logical favorite. Let's see what happens.
You know, yeah, Gutierrez. He's only had you could probably count his starts on one hand. I believe that's the guy. There's a horse later on in the card I like because he's not riding him. So he's just very inexperienced.
Yeah. And I thought he's just kind of, and which is weird. Like a young jockey, usually they were going to panic and maybe go too quick. I don't know what the instructions were in that race, but I didn't like the hard hold and chasing the dwaddling slow fraction on the lead. So enough of that race. Race 2 is a 16 non-2 life going 6 panels. There's a couple of different ways to go here. We both like the 11 horse. I put the 2 on top, Wampus Kitten. And, this is just basically saying, hey, Cipriano Contreras, claimed this horse for 50 last year, has tried different things, and he's like, we're in allowance races. We drop down the ladder to 35, and it's like, you know what, we're coming up at the end of the meet here. Let's win a race type thing. He is 12-1. Esquivel's in the irons, trainer, a jockey you like a lot. Should be able to save some ground there. Show a little bit more zip, I would think, against this group. Not really a fast horse early, but I think the class drop will do this one wonders today. And he owns this horse, so I think he's like, you know what, I'm gonna get out and let's win a race here. That's my feeling on it. The 11 is another one that I do like. I think what my notes on the 11 are, chased an extremely fast pace last time from the 11 hole last time, and was wide. This horse has been wide twice in a row. 3 back, chased a fast pace from the 1 hole and almost hung on. I just don't know. You're wide again. You're going to have to get the front. I think the speed, there's not really a ton of speed. That's why I kind of like it. I think you can clear. I just see those last 2 races being wide. Maybe they were obviously a lot quicker last time. Maybe if you get the same pace like you did 2 back, instead of running 4th, you can win it. And that was a much bigger non-2 life price. That's 150, right? Is that 15,000?
I think it's 15.
Oh, that is 50. 15, my bad, because they do have some big claiming races here.
Yeah, the problem
that is 15.
The problem with this one hasn't finished a race since the maiden.
Yeah.
Kind of like hard to trust this one, but early on in the Oaklawn card, I do like the speed. I think it holds on better earlier in the card for some reason. Maybe it's just me. And this horse doesn't have a ton of it in it either, so I'm going to see if that one can hold on.
I think it has every opportunity to, if it breaks sharp, it has every opportunity to clear today with, I think, a much slower pace than the last race. The last race was super, super fast. Even the race 2 back wasn't slow early. I don't think you're going to see those fractions in here today. This one might get an easier lead. So I definitely think for me, the 111, 11-1 is the exacta. Now you have the 6.
Yeah, that's actually supposed to be the 5. My bad.
Oh, it's supposed to be the 5?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the 5.
Oh, okay.
I'll change it
real quick. No big deal.
Yeah, I was thinking about the 6, and that's why I probably wrote that, because Gutierrez is off the 6. I mean, I'm going to probably include the 6 in my.
All right. Well, the 5's now your backup.
Yeah, the 5. The 5 looks to me just running in just real tough races. Lands here against this group, which doesn't seem very tough to me. Almost, ran a pretty good race last out. So to me, this one looks like a good bet all the way around.
All right. Well, it's an Archie bred. It ran against Caliente Star 2 back. We know about that one. She's undefeated, won a stake. Petitjean is a decent little runner that I always kind of liked a little bit. She's nothing special, but that was an open company race, and this is open company again. But you're pretty much on the bottom of the totem pole. I mean, I don't think you can go much lower at Oaklawn for outside of a 16 non-2 life race. Do they have 10? I don't even know, but it's logical, I guess. I just feel like it got a little bit of a fast pace to run into, and I guess there's 2 things. You could say it got a fast pace to run into, ran 3rd, couldn't win, but at the same time, looks like it has a little bit of a trip note. So, maybe it could have won that day. I just don't think you're going to get a fast pace. So you're going to have to get a perfect trip, I think, for the 5 to win today, but it's your backup. I think you're right. I think it's all about, is the Contreras runner dropping way down, just going to beat these horses on class, or is the 11 going to clear and get an easier lead than it has, than the last two? And is that one going to wire? I think those are the two horses in my opinion.
That's why they're on top.
Yeah. All right, race 3 is a maiden 45, and these races you can always go in multiple directions as we did. We really don't know what we're doing here. Because things are so goofy, I ended up going to Nancy C. Now I do have a work of Nancy C. Whoops, that's the wrong screen. And I just want to watch it. I like to show, young horses here. And this is her work. You guys can. This is not her last work. This is her work, I think, a few back, but just so you guys can see her, get an idea. I just felt like the race was kind of, I don't know, I wanted something different. And it's interesting. It's an Indiana bred. And it's running for a tag here. Purse is $55,000, so that's a lot more than most of your maiden special weights across the country. And again, it's Cipriano Contreras, who I think is a good trainer. And I don't know, I thought that was a decent move on on a less than fast track. It looks like that day, but it's going to be a fast trip today. But I went to that one, and I'm like, why not? So the next works, that was actually 4 works ago. We have a relatively slow drill on the 10th of March. Okay drill March 17th, and then handling onto the gate in 114 on the 25th. I'm assuming that's a 6 furlong work, of course. Yes, it is. Don't have my bifocals. Anyway, Cipriano Contreras, Esquivel, it's 6-1. You can see the rest of the field. Not much in here. The 8 is the favorite, the Hartman runner. It's, I guess, somewhat gutless in the main special ranks, but now it's dropping down. So this is where they can wake up. It's one that can obviously win here. You landed on the 5, who was claimed 2 back, and now lands. They ran it for 75, and they drop it a little bit here. So there's still some confidence in the horse.
Yeah, this is another one I'm banking on the first call. Be up there on the lead. 2-1, a little boring, but I think this one should get it. And I don't know how easy. There's not a whole lot in here, but there might be a couple try to gun. Maybe I don't know. Just looks paceless in a way. So,
well, looking at the pace,
if you could just be comfortable up there, this is another one that
the 2 has chased some fast fractions. The last race, it sat off a the okay pace at maiden special, couldn't do nothing. You got a John Ortiz firster in the 1 hole. You never know what they're going to do. I mean, that last race in the slop was very quick for you last time. Couldn't keep up, but that was extremely fast early. The 6 in December, that was a decently fast pace, but it was way out of it. The 7 is going turf to dirt, and the dirt race wasn't very good at Canterbury. The Hartman runner is cutting back. Yeah, why not? I mean,
yeah, Brian
get out there and go.
Brian Hernandez is in town. That's just, I mean, I like bacon, but Basson, whatever you want to call him. But this guy,
they call him bacon. I call him Bason.
Hernandez is a real professional. So
No, good rider. Yep.
yes,
All right, I like it. Well, that's what we have there. I'm gonna go with the firster. The five makes all the sense in the world. Keep an eye on the eight, I guess. It's just the five and the eight make a lot of that. The eight's just dropping down where hey, we could win here now. Um,
and
I think
the
I think
six is my question mark with that one start. So getting Lasix.
yeah, 100%. And it's an Archie bred, but you got New York breds in here and Kentucky breds, and I picked an Indiana bred. It's just a freaking rainbow of colors in here. But um, yeah, you ran against Caliente Star in the debut. Got a race under your belt. That was back in December. I see some good works. I see some good works in March.
Yeah, I mean,
So
well, all those questions are going to be answered. Race 3. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, I think in this race, I think you either have an opinion. I like don't pick two horses in here. Either pick one that you think is your single in a pick five, or I would spread a little bit in here. So picking two or three, I don't know about that. Race 4 is a maiden special weight event. $110,000. And we both like the five. You like the five on top. Tell me about Trouble's Roaring for Asmussen.
This is another one that I think is going to be forwardly placed. Um, there's not going to be a whole lot up there. Maybe the 8, try to scoot out. But I think that's going to be the position that you're going to want to be in to open the card up. Second off the layoff, just came in second last time out. I just got to hold on this time, and you got Eric Asmussen, my favorite rider. We'll see what happens there. 9 starts, 6 seconds. Let's get you. Let's get a win here.
Well, I do. Perfect Force did come back. Winning next out, and then ran third in a stake. So that's a nice company line. And you're right, you had a lot of time off, and they can always pick up their feet a lot the second time out. Our cousin David Crawley loves when we say that second time out. So there you go. We're saying it now. The 7 is where I landed. Semper Invictus, and Semper Invictus comes in from California. And I watched one of its works. It didn't have the last drill, so I didn't want to pull up, the other one. But it's been working good, especially this last work. And James DeVito is a guy I respect a lot. They're taking the hood off, and this one might be ready to rock. Has run against some decent runners. 3 back, it sprinted against a pretty good runner here, Bartholdi, who's been running pretty fast this year, and has kept good company lines out there. This one might be able to pop right out of the gate, off the little layoff here. So I took a chance there. I do like your 5 as my backup. The 6 is Dawn at Normandy. You're getting the nuts off angle, the Carl Broberg nuts off, and it's an ugly race. But we see, you can draw a line through a lot of these. It's had time off. It's been working forward really nicely, and it's definitely one that could have shock potential.
Yeah, that was a tough race. If you're not ready for it, that was a pretty good group it ran against as well. Like I said, if you're not ready to run against them, you're not going to. Hopefully he calmed down a little bit, and maybe that was his issue. But 20-1, I just didn't want to ignore it. So I like second time starters, but usually with a trainer that does good with babies, I don't know how this guy's. He's pretty
not too
average.
good.
Yeah,
he's below average, and he usually needs to work him into shape, and he's not great off layoffs, but an underneath play nonetheless. If you're playing a trifecta,
yeah, it's the horse is 20-1. Those are the kind of horses that you need to have in the exotics to make them pay a little better. Anyway, that's what you hope for. So
Right. Yeah, as far as the pace goes, I would assume that you're just gonna try and wire this thing here, huh? I mean, what do you think the Val Brinkerhoff horse is gonna do here? It's probably gonna flash a little bit, zip itself, and you just don't know what the nine's gonna do for Stidham. Interesting spot coming out of that 5.5 furlong turf race down at Fairgrounds. It has been working good on dirt down there, and he's probably thinking, "Man, this, maybe I was wrong about this one." They spent $500,000 on it. It's out of a unbridled song mare. They're like, let's run it on turf and whatever. It ran a decent race there actually. Was 5-2 that day or 2-1, whatever. And but I think this horse has been training so well on dirt. They're like, let's give it a shot at Oaklawn on the dirt. So that'll be another interesting one to watch to see what they do. And you have Christian Torres in the irons. I didn't pick it on my ticket. I wanted the Cal horse coming in, but it's an interesting horse nonetheless at 5-1 morning line. Watch the tote board.
yeah, what is this race for? 'Cause, yeah, so this is a race. It's I think it's wide open.
Of course it is.
Maidens. I mean, I would go deep here. You're gonna probably have to, unless you know something.
Well, I don't know. I guess you got to pick your spots. We already talked about the last race or the last two races, but anyway, this is going to close out the early pick five, and then you could start a mid pick five. It looks like with this race right here. So this is going to be an important race of the sequence if you're playing rolling pick fives. And me and you, Marko, are kind of like all over the place once again. You're on super enticing from the rail for Asmussen. You're dropping down a little bit. You're cutting back. What do you think here with super enticing?
Well, this is where I start, I guess, playing the track a little to maybe get something off the pace to run up from behind. Mm-hmm. This is where I'm hoping that the change in the track happens, and
so you've been noticing that. You've been noticing like it's speed early and it's even to closers late.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I've been
noticing that too. I've been noticing actually just speed outside of the Rebel card. Since the Rebel card, it's been playing like either fair or closers.
Yeah, and it seems like all the earlier races were just about speed, and then even last week when I played the late pick five last week, and I studied the first 5 races. We're watching them. I want to see how it was playing before I put a ticket in. It was all speed, and then it worked for the first, I think, couple races in the pick five, but then it was just all from the back from there. So I just saw it like gradually switch over. So I mean, that's not saying like a horse like yesterday, Skelly. That horse can go gate the wire. It doesn't matter. But
oh man, did you see that? I looked for the buyer speed figure. It wasn't out this morning. It might be out.
When you have a monster like that, that doesn't matter.
I cannot believe how. I mean, I can believe it, but I was like, well, it looks like Booth is Asmussen's new star, and we'll talk about that later. But man, now I'm thinking you hook both them horses up. Who's going to win, Booth or Skelly? Now Skelly didn't. I was wrong about a horse in there yesterday. Ran like shit, and that field turned out to not be that great. But man, Skelly ran off the screen. So for me in this race, I went to the 9, and the 9 Hot Day won last time despite a hot pace out in the 11 hole. There's maybe one or two other ones that have some speed, but this horse is super quick, and I think this is the speed of the speed. And I think Pete Miller is one of the, has historically been one of the best speed trainers in the country, and runs her in a ideal spot, not getting greedy here, and just like this one's feeling good right now, and I think this is the one to beat. I think this one's gonna just shoot out like a rocket, and you're on the outside of some other speed, you're not on the inside of them, and you can clear or watch whatever develops there. But I think this horse is just gonna bust out like a rocket, and just go gate the wire.
That one, yeah, definitely looks 2 for 2 at Oaklawn. I'm just hoping maybe the 6 can cause a little bit of trouble. For that was my thinking, but like you said, it could be just speed of the speed, outside position. You'll need another one to go if you want to get faded out, because that last race was pretty nice.
Yeah, the 6 is got some speed. I just I'm going to be bearing down on that one. It's all about the break, but the gate speed from the 9's been pretty good, and from the 11 hole last time, had to work just a tad to get it, and it got it, and just kept going, and just break clean today. I think I'll collar the 9. I think I'll have the lead easily in that first turn, and turn it for home. I'll definitely be on front, and someone's gonna have to run me down. I guess it's gonna be your 1, right?
Yeah, the 1 saving ground. So this is the one I think it could set up. We'll see what happens. Everything looks too good to be true with that 1 for me, except for
all right. We got Jennifer
Ryder.
Livermore. I am this channel's biggest fan. What does this say? Steve needs to rock the visor more. Yeah, I'm rocking it. I got a few of them. I lost my Arlington Park visor.
You can buy one on eBay.
Yeah. So anyway, Marko, yeah, 1-5 here. Let's see what happens. This is gonna close the early pick 5, and it's gonna start the mid pick 5. It's a race you need to pay attention to. I think me and Marko are on the 2 horses that you should key on. Want to throw something else in there? Go ahead. I mean, the 7 was my backup for some reason. Strictly because Jacobson trained it, or claimed it, excuse me. And I'm like, this guy's a savvy guy, and if you want to throw that one in, go ahead. That's pretty much the only reason why I like it. If he's claiming it and running it here, he's probably alive. So, and then you have the 5 underneath. All right, let's move on to the next race. Race 6 is a maiden 3-year-old race for $30,000. Again, we're a little bit different here, or a lot different. I ended up on the 2 horse, Fine Tuned, for Asmussen. And last time I was in the 11 hole, couldn't quite get the lead. Now I'm just more inside, so I think I'll be in a better spot. I was inside 2 back at Houston, but that was in a maiden special. I guess I don't know how. Maiden 30 here, maiden special at Houston. Are you going to give the nod to the maiden special weight at Houston over the maiden claiming here at Oaklawn, or are you going to call that a lateral move? What's your opinion?
Well, in some cases, that's hit or miss, but I would say, really very similar,
Okay.
give or take, any day. Sometimes you get some really good maiden 20s here. I've seen fields of that. We're not okay, but I've also seen them at Houston where it's like, you can bring a claimer over there and beat them. So,
all right. Well, here, Asmussen had this horse down in Houston, and ran well, maiden specials. Dropped in it for 20 here, 11 hole, hung wide, and just ran a good race. Now you're in the 2 hole. You should be able to save a lot more ground, flash more speed, get a good spot. And, he shows a little bit of confidence by, hey, saying, I'm going to step this one up just a tad from 20 to 30. Maybe that's the way the condition book worked, but nonetheless, running here for 30. And I don't know. I like this horse. Not a big price, but it's not a tough field. And I think he spotted it right. And I think the post is much better here for fine tuned. You landed on the 10, who is American Litigator for Kenny McPeak, and you got Brian Hernandez. Ran for 30 last time. Running again for 30 here. What was it's 5-2.
Yeah, it's 5-2 second start. The connections are the connections. They're just really, they win a lot of races. That race last out was not bad. I mean, mid pack, but close. I think you can improve. It was a pretty fast race. So with some improvement, against some of the other stuff in here, I don't think it was a tough field, but I think the only other one really is fine tuned is the other horse to beat in here. But they're both the favorites. Looks like so.
Speechless is one that you have as your backup. I looked at this horse for a long time too. Kind of liked it a little bit. I just didn't know what to make of the new barn. And I have notes in here saying better sprinting ? Way back when it ran against East Avenue in debut. The sprint race though on February 7th was just it was just okay. And but it's that type of race. It's got a good drill on the 7th of April. I don't know. It does figure. I'll give you that.
The price was good, and it looks like a horse that could just hang around and get an overlay, and no one wants to win the race, and then he just kind of comes and steals it. But am I huge on that one? No, I probably.
Well, it's they tried four of the last 5 races are routing, and I think it is a better sprinter. It's going to be a better sprinter, maybe like a closing sprinter type horse. You're going to need I think that's going to be that's going to be its game plan, or that's going to be its MO. I think it's not a route horse, and the talent. It's not talented. It's bred well, but it's they tried things at Keeneland and Churchill and all that stuff. But
he just looks real competitive in this group.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is what it is, and I think cutting back and being a closing sprinter against cheaper is where it can excel. And then the 8 for me, Miracle on Central Avenue. I have some notes in here. Debut was good, trouble in both, cuts back, and I had that Donut God reference that we were using earlier.
Yeah.
That horse hasn't come back and run yet. It's a stakes winner. So I don't know what's going on with that one, but the last race was pretty good. Shuffled around a little bit there. Watched the replay. I'm not going to watch it now just because. But Hartman and Bacon, I mean, those guys are rock solid, and I think this horse is probably live and in a good spot here to run similar like your 9.
I was just about to say this. I mean, if you just change the name, it looks identical. So there you go.
So that's what we have here. This is now when you talk about spreading, I kind of disagreed with you spreading on that other race, but this is the race I think you should spread on, in my opinion. But this kicks off the, no, this is the middle. This is the middle part of the second. This is the second leg of the Central Pick 5. And this is the one that I really don't know what's going to happen in here. I'm obviously hoping my 2 wins, but not a race I'm going to heavily invest in unless I think I don't know, maybe I do a trifecta key or something and spend $30 in here and just watch the show.
It's another maiden race. These are the ones that, You don't know until you know.
Dylan would say save your money. Don't waste money on a race you don't like. But when you're a degenerate, right?
Yep. And we gotta play the pick five.
Yeah. Well, if you're playing the pick five, you obviously have to play it, and I think that's a race you spread, in my opinion. All right, we're on the same horse here, race 7. We both have the 8. This is a 20,000 12.5 claiming event, and the 8 is Bump in the Night. And last time we caught a fast pace, and we stayed around there, and I think we're lone speeding here. We're adding the hood on top of it.
I agree.
I think we get away and just wire, right?
Yeah, and I was actually trying to stay away from speed later in the car. Not stay away, but I mean, this race, it's
slow,
like,
slow early.
If you're gonna give it to you, then you got to take it. Will you get 5-1 though? Like, a lot of people might see that and bet it. So,
well, yeah, pace players. I mean, look, there's no secret what they're doing with the hood and everything else. You're the fastest horse early. That was a fast pace you ran into. It was a less than, fast track that day, but hung around, and it should open up here on the backstretch. It should have a nice little comfortable lead and then get a breather, I think. I don't know. That's
what you got to hope.
Pace makes the race.
Yep, it's a cheap claimer, and somebody's got to go to the front, and
yeah, that one's going to do it. The 9 for John Horan. You got, is that Jane Elliott?
Yeah, that's Jane Elliott.
Yeah, this horse here would be I guess underneath that would be for me. I think the idea for you is you're thinking, hey, let's break sharp, at least, have a bullseye in the catbird seat behind the leader, who's our top pick. And if that one doesn't keep going, maybe this one gets first run. Is that your idea here? Because last time you flashed a little bit of speed and took the lead briefly and got a little tired.
Yeah, if you could just run like that with that same mentality. This horse, back last January Fairgrounds won the maiden gate to wire, so that's probably what you want to do. And in the other race that she broke on top, she held on for third, and then last out she broke pretty sharp. Got the lead for a minute and finished third. So all her better races were forwardly placed. So it just looks like she has some trouble sometimes to get out.
No, listen, this horse is sneaky because look at the other route races, you're like, but man, look at the fields. I mean, those are, and Just My Heels is in there under the palms, and those horses didn't win.
Clay Beret.
Listen, had zero shot against those. They were really, it was in decent form at Hawthorne and stuff like that. So I get it. You want to try the big money, but they sprinted it. It's not a sprinter. The last race was, at 18-1. That was a horse I probably would have taken a chance on in that last race based off of the previous, races, and it did run third, and it was a good horse to have on your trifecta. But yeah, I think that's the idea today. I think just track the 8 and hope you can get first run on that one and beat it if that one doesn't keep going. I have the 7 as my backup play here at 7-2, just because again, second off the layoff, again, similar race shape, like your backup pick should maybe stay close and has the ability to run late and has run against some decent horses. So it's 7-2, not a lot of imagination. You have a much bigger price on your horse. But yeah, let's see if the 8 can just wire the field and get the job done.
Yes, we never have to worry about the 7 or the 9. All right.
The Count Fleet. I wish we had more imagination here.
Ah,
Um, but Booth looks like it's just a weird thing to say, but Booth is either the best sprinter in the country or the second best sprinter in the barn. Because Skelly really ran off the screen yesterday, and he might be back. But man, Booth, I'll tell you what, man. I tried to beat this horse 2 times in a row, and wasn't happening. Got
you
to
know
do
the
his own
horse
thing. Yeah, go
is
ahead.
growing up. It's growing up nicely. So
And
that's very. I mean, it's he's on top of his game right now.
the other thing too, man, there's just no speed in here.
No, this looks like Skelly yesterday. Yeah.
There's just no speed. There's nothing fast early. Tejano Twist is a really nice horse. Needs a set, at least a decent setup, and didn't get it last time. Isn't going to get it here. Wendelson 2 back against Booth. He's not in this race, but I thought I could beat Booth that day, and Booth, got to do his own thing up there. But man, I just don't see anybody going with this horse, and I don't think we need to waste too much more time.
No.
Yeah. All right, race 8. No, not race 8. We did race 8. Race 9. Race 9 is they sandwich at 20,000 on 2 life in here, going 2 turns. And we're a little bit all over the place here. Marko, you have the 10. Who is Tis Charming for Asmussen.
Yeah, this is where I want to come off the pace and win. The horse is 12-1. I'm in for 20. It's like this horse just wants to go sometimes, and broke his maiden two back, and then got your first taste of winners. Closed aura. I mean, not really. I mean, you came in 4th, but you started losing touch with the leader. Like my concern is just the jockey sometimes just I don't know where his head is at. Sometimes he looks great. Sometimes he looks like a just horrible. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand it, but I like Asmussen on big days. The horses they had expectations, I would imagine, at one point. So I mean, you're in for 20. I just don't know if I'm going to have the pace I want in this race to run at. That's my concern about this one, but I think this one could still run a big one. The price is right.
Well, I went to Money Shot, and Money Shot, whatever happened there.
The Money Shot.
Just throw that. No, I mean that last race was just draw a line through it. Sprint to 2 back. We're back routing here. We're just dropping down, and look, the connections are whatever, but you go from Torres to Wales. The horse has 2 works since that debacle, and we're coming up to the end of the meet. And this is a good spot, and it's never run this cheap in its life. So the last work looked good. I watched it, and why not? The horse. If this horse is trained by any 3 or 4 other trainers that I can name, you can cut the price in half on the morning line, I think. But this one should be live today if it's feeling good, and based on the last 2 drills, I think it is. And maybe this is where it should have been all along, by the way. So I'm gonna take a shot at 8-1 with Money Shot. The 1 is my backup. Case of scratches. Ran against that speed bias on the Rebel card. And then McPeak had it in for 35. They just go down the ladder a little bit. and it's run fast, and it makes sense to me at 4-1. And this is what I'm telling you. Like, if McPeak was training Money Shot, then Money Shot's 4-1.
Yeah, I looked at that one. Uh, Pretty good. I like that pick.
Yeah, I would include it on my horizontals. Your 8 horse, not your yeah, your 8 horse is the backup here with Indy Charge. I did look at this one for a long time. Ran again a couple of the pace was like scorching 2 back and going 1 mile and 3/16 against Cash Me Up, who's probably going to run in that Trails End race. And last time I watched the replay of that last race, it says bothered at the 8th. Yeah, it was. Maybe you could have had an inquiry, but I felt like it wasn't finishing up well anyway. Maybe that's why they didn't DQ or nothing. But now you're dropping down, so it's logical. That's it. Enough said, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really like the race altogether,
All right.
but
Well,
it's good. It's a
we'll
good
go to
betting
race 10.
race. It's a good betting race if you want to catch a price, I think.
Race 10 is a nice race, $131,000 pot. Optional claiming 62,000 non-winners of 2 other than maiden or claiming. So let's see where we landed here. Let's see. Do I have 2 race 9s? What did I do here? How do I have race 10 as the Apple Blossom? Okay, wait a minute. We both have the. Let me see if I got my graphics right. Who did you pick in this race?
6.
You got the 6 here?
Yes.
Okay, so we both have the 6.
Yeah.
All right, what I did wrong here on the graphics. The Apple Blossom is race 11. I had it down as race 10. That's the problem. That's what happens when you get up early and then. All right. Well, you talk about the 6 while I fix the graphics of the other race.
This 6, I think, is the best bet of the day.
Oh, look out! Well, I like it too, so that's good. Tell me about it.
If you can get 9-2. Well, here you got the opener, 1 first time out, maiden 110 with an 86. That was sprinting. Went to the allowance ranks right away. Won. 98 buyer, took the Lasix off, and tried the Razorback grade 3. I don't know, maybe there was a bump start. I didn't watch that replay. We all know that Alexander, Helios, and Banishing are pretty good horses. So he stepped up and tried it. I don't know if it was the juice. Don't know if it was he needed blinkers. I don't know, but he's getting that back, and I don't like anything else in this race. I just don't like anything else in this race.
All right. Well, let me touch on this. I just want to. The Razorback's a grade 3. The Essex is a grade 3. The Razorback was 10 times harder than the Essex. Just a way tougher race. I mean, these are really good runners in here. Alexander Helios is a monster. Look at Banishing. Do you see what Banishing did in that Oaklawn mile?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a horse that I thought could, beat Skelly and Booth sprinting. And this thing's routing and dominating. So that tells you how good that was. First Mission was the horse I picked in that Razorback. Lost by a neck. That's a nice-ass horse for Brad Cox. You had other horses in there underneath. It was just a big, huge, tough race. And the quality of horses in there are just way tougher. And again, I've touched on this. The Rebel card, and by the way, the internal fractions, you got blue in there. That was a slow pace to begin with, and the rail was golden. You had to be on or near the lead. We were 7 lengths out of it. Just tossed that race. You're chasing Banishing in First Mission and Alexander Helios on a speed favoring track where they went 47-3 to almost 23-4. Forget it. This horse is going to crush this field today. And 9-2, I'm going to put a huge win bet on this horse.
Yeah, because this is also going to be a single. Then I could spread in those maiden races.
Yeah. Yeah, this horse is going to crush. So, you throw in the bump at the start to begin with. Yeah, just throw the last race out. This is the spot. I mean, this horse is gonna dominate. So I don't know if you want to look for something else. We both like the 4. 4 is coming off of a good race. They're taking a hood off. Whatever. Whatever. There's honestly, man, if I can get 9-2 on the 6, I'd do a backflip. So that's my
yeah. You got hopefully they bet the 9. Just because the
lure him in. This is the horse that Lamplighter Jack beat 2 years ago at
8 years old. 8 years old, ran some decent races, but I mean,
yeah, it's a nice horse, but
10-time winner. But
this horse is 5-2.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is a terrible morning line.
Horrible.
I tell you what, if I had a heads up even money bet, with our pick against this one, I would go get $10,000 out of the bank.
Well, I don't even have this one in. I don't even have lure him in a trifecta. I have the 1 in there coming in.
Wow.
So,
Willie D's for Mike Maker ran a huge race off the January race there, and thought it was nice, but Haystrike beat it by a nose, and I liked Haystrike yesterday, and Haystrike ran like dog shit. So, not that means anything, but I did have a trouble trip. I didn't break well, and I was up on heels on the backstretch, but it still showed nothing. All right. So anyway, Baddest Good Boy should romp. The Apple Blossom. This is what everybody's waiting for, I think. And so what we have here is an upset alert. And we've had deep discussions with, every time Torpedo Anna runs, Dylan's been saying, since the distaff, he's like, I can't wait to bet against her. I can't wait to bet against her. Now, Torpedo Anna, had to work a little bit. Got an easy lead there. An extended. I like Free Like a Girl. Nice Louisiana bred, but let's face it, she's not a open company Grade 1 type horse. Recharge ran 3rd in that race. Who got the golden rail at Houston at 40-1 for Asmussen. It just wasn't a tough field. Got to do what she wanted. The distaff was relatively weak. She got to do what she wanted. Look, Torpedo Anna's awesome. And Frank Mustari last year on our show for the, was it the Fantasy Stakes? Said she's going to win the Fantasy. Not only is she going to win the Fantasy, she's going to win the Oaks. And she did that. But there's some luster that's, getting knocked off the ring here. And that brings us to the real ring. Where's my ring? And I think the consensus is this horse grew up from 3 to 4. Wasn't a sprinter. They just sprinted it just to get a race under its belt, and it crushed. And what I like about this horse, it doesn't need the lead at all. You look at the PPs, you're thinking, no. Watch the professionalism of
into the outside post. Carrara
the 5 here.
to round out the field.
Is she the 5 in here? Yeah, she's the 5 in here as well.
We're ready to go. And Leroff, uneventful beginning. Majestic Oops gets the first call of the race. She's on the lead. Where's My Ring? Right up on the outside to press the issue. Standout Sensation off of them in third.
Just doing what she wants in hand.
Third spot, and Standout
This is all her.
Sensation is fourth on the rail as they go into the first turn run. Carrara getting towards that rail. Gets to the inside. She's 5 lengths off the lead, racing alone. There's a gap of 3 to Marshide Mama, promising right behind her. Progeny second to last.
Just kind of gliding real nicely.
Back of the pack, not much pace to chase here, though, and it's a strong
not
outlook
fast.
with that in mind. The pacemaker, Where's My Ring from Southern California for the Val Brinkerhoff barn.
Just kind of looking.
3/4 of a length. Majestic Oops concedes the lead. Back in second on a hold, tracking on restraint right now.
I think the 7's going to actually take the lead on her or something.
Majestic Oops taken back to third now on the fence. 2 back to Standout Sensation. Another 4 to Carrara. Niggled along a little bit, approaching the forward turn run. She's a length and a half better than Marshide Mama. Promising is next. And then comes Progeny. I had that one too. Well out of it. Not going to get the job done. Around the forward turn they go. Where's My Ring with 3 furlongs to go. A neck in front. Feeling beachy on the outside. Turning up the pressure coming off.
Maybe not get the lead, but just running within herself here.
Where's My Ring at the quarter pole. Majestic Oops is shaken up. Standout Sensation given a cue to go. She's 2 lengths off the lead. Sent hard at the top of the lane. Where's
and
My
just
Ring?
extend
the
here.
Gazelle winner last
and
year.
urging.
Comes off the turn. She's got plenty for the stretch and powers away from Feeling Beachy
One
and
with
the others.
one
Where's
crack
My
there
Ring
showing
with
the
a
left
big
hand and one
acceleration,
crack.
and she's gone 6,
Another
7
crack that you didn't
ahead.
really need.
Where's My Ring with
Just
a
handwritten
dominant
in.
effort here in Hot Springs today, coming from California. Where's My Ring? A dominant victor. Photo for second. Feeling Beachy involved with.
So
Standout
really,
Sensation, and Majestic Oops was
I thought that
fourth.
was pretty impressive in the gallop out strong. This horse is going to run the race of its life today, and if Anna is a little bit, I mean she's great, but I think Where's My Ring's better than Free Like a Girl. I have a lot of respect for Free Like a Girl. Don't get me wrong. Nice Louisiana bred, 21 wins, 2.2 million, but that's against mostly. You know, she's running an open company a lot, but she doesn't win an open company a lot. A lot of those are the Louisiana races. The rest of the field isn't much. You know, Wild About Hillary, not much. She did win the Bayacoa, but that was not the fastest of races. Where's
You should still get maybe 5-2. No, I mean, don't you think Anna's just going to take it?
Oh yeah, Anna. Yeah, of course. I think the morning line. These morning lines are right, based on the rest of the competition, and yeah, I think we'll get $7 on Where's My Ring. Look, this filly was always thought of. I mean, as a 3-year-old, she was pretty good. She won the Gazelle a year ago at 1 1/8. So she's always been good. Torpedo Anna did beat her, you know, in the Kentucky Oaks and Acorn and all that stuff. But she went south after the Gazelle. Tried her on turf, whatever. Then they bring her back. They sprint her off the long layoff just to get a race under her belt. Excuse me. And then you see that last race. That is a dominant in-hand, really just a show whip crack with the left type race. And this horse has plenty in the tank. And I think she's going to be a monster as a 4-year-old. And hey, Dylan loves her.
Yeah, after talking
Dylan
with
loves her.
you guys and kind of open up the eyes a little bit.
So I guess the bet is, you know, the
Yeah,
5-6 straight exacta. Make your money.
Yep, and you know this. If you can hit that single too, I mean, because there's no other money.
If you're going to make money in the pick 5, you have to single Where's My Ring, I think. Try and beat Torpedo Anna. 100%.
Yeah, because I like Bad is Good Boy, and I mean for the double, it might not pay a whole lot, but it's almost like, you know, no risk, higher reward.
I think that'd be a good double.
Yeah, if we can get those morning line odds, I think it's going to be a real good double.
Yeah, watch Where's My Ring in the Gazelle last year. This is kind of like I think what we're going to see. because there's plenty of speed. This horse again does not need a lead. It got the lead last time, kind of easy, just because.
What number are we?
Where's my ring? Wants to be
Uh,
nearly
we
Frank.
are
Where's
number
my ring is going to track right in behind
1,
Carmelina. Will hold that rail position.
Okay, there it
Two.
is.
Move quickly into
and you
that
can
third
see her.
turn.
She's
Carmelina
4th right now
with Where's My
on the
Ring
rail.
back to second. Regulatory
And
risk.
this is a horse that does not need the lead. Just
That's
keep that in
Jin,
mind.
Followed by Money Grab. They're going to be 4th and 5th. A gap of another 3.5 lengths now to who could ask.
People look at the PPs. Oh, she at a slow pace, needs the lead. No, she grew up. She's a monster. She dispatched of whatever those were and drew off by 12.
For that opening quarter mile.
Like a grade 1 filly.
In front, Regulatory Risk is now stalking from second. Tight hold here on.
By the way, this is, I believe, a grade 1 here. So
Moving forward is Jin there with Money Grab. They're out in the center of the racetrack, still 4th and 5th. And who could ask for Mo? Starts to move in closer, is inching closer there with Life Talk. They are now catching up with that leading group. Barbara
She has a
Tina
grade
towards the
3,
tail
but-
end of the field, and tailing off is the trailer. Princess Vino, 48 seconds flat for the half-mile time here.
and you can see her. She's sitting
Carmelina,
3rd.
who takes him into the far turn. Regulatory Risk.
Nice and
right there
relaxed.
From second, Where's My Ring is just screaming out for room. Is in 3rd. Jin is all in.
And I love how she explodes when she's right, like she did in her last race at Oaklawn. This is where she just explodes.
And Regulatory Risk. Where's My Ring is now finding the room to the outside and moves towards the outside. 3 of them across the racetrack here in the Gazelle. It's Regulatory Risk, and Where's My Ring is fully in pursuit. Carmelina back to 3rd. Where's My Ring?
Drifted in a little bit, but no big deal. A lot of right-handers there.
It is now Where's My Ring with less than a furlong left to go. Where's My Ring is leading the proceedings. A maiden no more. Where's My Ring dominates in the Gazelle. It's Where's My Ring.
Oh, won a maiden, broke her maiden in a grade 3.
And who could ask for more? In 1 minute.
Who could ask for more?
0.3.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
So anyway,
Uh,
that's the real Where's My Ring. Something went wrong, obviously. Something went wrong there. You know, in the Oaks at the Acorn, that wasn't the real Where's My Ring. I think we're gonna get the real one today.
whatever it was, they took care of the problem, didn't give up, and came back strong. So yeah, this is
Working good at Santa Anita before the really nice drill at Oaklawn. So let's see if Where's My Ring can. It's going to be an epic race. I think it's going to be fun to watch. The last race is one that I'm really interested in. This is my long shot play of the day. And I like the 4 here. Now, the 4, Stellar Lily, has always been a fast filly. Whether you're sprinting or you're routing, she just likes to get out and go and just try and wire. And, you know, she caught a really fast pace 2 back in a sprint. Couldn't hang on. I mean, that was 21 and change, 45 flat, just insane fractions. 2 back, just way too, it says here keen, and that's the right word to use, was just opened up by 7 and it just died. I don't know what the hell happened there, but this last race, I think, you know, this is a sprint, and I want you to see what happened here. They found something, is what I'm saying. First of all, there's a ton of speed in here, a ton of speed, and I don't know, maybe I'll have to look at your pick, but
we're ready to go.
Look at these 6 here, who probably was going to go to the lead again, but it got pinched here.
One happy
got pinched right there.
To the pace in the early stages. She's got ahead in front.
So now you see her. She's just, you know, whatever. They're grabbing.
Here from Can't Believe It, who takes the second
now look,
with Wise Miss.
She's up on heels a little bit. There's a horse in front of her. The 7's going to come on the outside. The 1.
Right behind the leader.
She's going to get uncomfortable, and she's going to check out to last here.
Punchy girl inside of her. Gloriette usually likes to be on the lead, and today she is last and wide going into the 4-turn run.
Now she's dead last.
Mama has successfully cleared off.
But what I like about it
the turn a length in
is like, holy shit, okay, I don't mind being back here. It's fast paced anyway. I'm all in hand. But watch how she darts in and out all over the place here.
Danu comes looking for the lead with Can't Believe It. One happy mama
running her
giving way.
head, darting
Gloriette tries
around,
to mount a
looking
rally
for
on
a
the far
seam.
outside, but has some work to do.
Now
Demi
she's going to
Danu
dart
at
to
a
the
big
rail.
number, kicking away from Can't Believe It, who can't keep up. On the outside, Gloriette's charging fast, but it's Demi Danu.
And she's going to run good to the wire.
Cushion.
And what I do like here,
to close, but Demi Danu's
after
clear.
all the
Demi
trouble,
Danu. Francisco Arietta
she showed
with
that
2
she
wins
was doing
today,
that,
and
and
Demi
she actually
Danu won
galloped
it
out really
at
well here.
20-1. Gloriette second best. Then Can't Believe It, and Stellar Lily,
There's her
who was
galloping
fourth
out.
and galloped out well.
So I'm like, you know what? Me and Dad were talking about this with Lamplighter Jack. Like, we're always gunning for the lead. Let's rate him. He won his first turf race rating. There's a lot of speed on that race next Wednesday at Tampa. Let's rate Lamplighter Jack. I think this horse, by default, or by error, getting a trouble trip, showed that it can rate. Just don't have trouble this time. Break it clean and just kind of relax it. And then ask in this race. I think you can agree with me. It's just laced with pace. It's 15-1.
Yeah, this race.
Well, that's what I'm
this
hoping.
race, it is laced with pace. That's why I'm going to try to. I'm trying to come from not on the lead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I figured you would. Cantex is an awesome Arkansas bred. It's won 2 stakes in a row here. Now you're trying Open Company. I think the morning line is pretty shitty for a classy little Arkansas bred filly that's got 6 wins. Loves Oaklawn. And I get it. You're looking to get the same trip that I'm talking about, and you should be looking for a horse like that.
Yeah, and the Arkansas bred's not getting any respect whatsoever. Like I was telling you this morning, the Arky bred, the American band, they did that to last year. Didn't think the horse could run, but when you love this place, like this horse does, they pop.
Yeah, I mean, look at the race. Just look at the race. First of all, let's go on the outside. Look, I mean, this horse is in the 11 hole at 30-1. They did take the hood off, but this horse just goes balls out. I mean, look at these fractions it runs. Maybe they're going to try and relax it, but they tried the hood, but it's always showing speed without the hood. They added the hood the last 2. It just couldn't even relax at all. So they're taking the hood back off where it also showed a ton of speed. So yeah, that horse is going. The 9 is not slow. The 8 should be pressing. The 5 is fast as hell for Pete Miller. I mean, come on. That horse is going. The Stellar Lily on the surface, you're thinking, but I showed you the replay, so I'm hoping we do something different. We might have found something there. The 2 has always been fast. The last time it didn't get the lead, but it's always been fast. And then the 1, the 1's 5-2 after winning at 20-1. I just don't see it.
Yeah, and
I think that's a bad line. That horse ran off the screen. Got ahead of lucky. Ahead of perfect. Yeah, I don't like the 1. So anyway, Stellar Lily. That's my thinking. The late pick 5 is going to be interesting.
And you're hoping to rate a little. The scratches just came out, it seems.
Oh, all right. So this is the beauty of being a public handicapper early before scratches. And how does this race look with scratches?
The 3 was scratched. That's the closer. Farrell's Heart was not the speed horse. And the 11, the balls out horse scratch. So, but there's still some speed.
The 11 did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And listen, I'm not saying, there's plenty of speed. And I'm not saying Stellar Lily should be dropping anchor, guys. Don't get that idea. I'm just saying, hey, you had a lot of trouble in that race. You checked out from after a quarter mile to a half mile to the half mile pole. You were checking out all the way to dead last. And then you came again, and then you were darting all over the place. Just break clean, relax, sit in the catbird seat, sit third, a length and a half out. That's what I would like to see Stellar Lily doing. And because what you've been doing before hasn't been working, and I think at 15-1, maybe by default they found something. And then your horse, I can't imagine Cantex being 15-1. I just can't imagine that.
Well, it's going to set up, so
it's going to be fun, and we'll see what happens. The Apple Blossom. Let's check out scratches. Noble Miss, who didn't have a prayer in Vegas to win that race. All right, no, nothing big there. I don't know. There's Lure Him In is out at 5-2. Zatara's out. All right, so Lure Him In is out.
kind of wanted that horse to stay in there.
I wanted that. And shit.
Baddest Good Boy is going to be chalk.
Yeah, I think so.
Shit.
I think so. Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, there you go.
It's a bet. I mean, no way I get 9-2 on that horse. The Count Fleet is a foregone conclusion, I think. Look at Payne. Did you watch that race from Payne 2 back? I don't know. I mean, Jacobson ran it in that starter allowance, but yeah, that was pretty amazing 2 back the way it looked. All right. Well, anyway, Marko, good show. What's going on today? Dad's in town. What's the dealio? You going to the track? What are you guys doing?
Oh yeah, I gotta get up and have some more coffee here, and then I gotta get these sheets out, and then go meet up with everybody. It's already getting late. Shit, almost 11.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, does a little guy want to say let's cash some tickets?
Hey, Alex, you want to tell Uncle Steve something? Huh?
Gotta get the let's cash your tickets moniker in there. Punchline.
Let's cash some tickets.
Yeah, get the sleepies out of your eyes. Jesus, it's 11:15. That kid just woke up.
Well, we were at poker night last night.
Dude, he had bedhead and everything else.
We're at poker night last night.
Oh man, hey, you always want to punch me, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I'll see you guys later. Hey, I'm gonna come down there in a couple of weeks, buddy. We're gonna go look for some dinosaurs up on top of that
dinosaurs.
that mountain over there. All right.
Okay.
All right. Love you, buddy. All right, guys. Have fun. Happy Apple Blossom Day. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Later.
Bye, Atso.
Bye.
Bye.